Hello, and welcome to Pep Talks with Dr. Yao Pebi. Today I'd like to talk to you about the fact that life is lived forwards but understood backwards. Life is lived forwards but understood backwards. When you first hear that, you probably will think, this is coming from Yao's Bank of Wise African Proverbs. But actually, the first person I learned this from or heard this from was a Danish philosopher called Soren Kierkegaard. Now, this is true in many ways, and the last week or so, this has come back to me because I was doing an interview with my brother and friend of 20 years, Albert Okran, on his Springboard Leadership University program. And this is what Albert said. He said, Yao, when I look at your entire life, I can summarize it in one word. And I was curious what he was going to say. And he said, leadership. Leadership. To which I just said, you're true. It is true. You're right. But I see Albert is one of the few people who can make sense of my very seemingly scattered life. Because a lot of people have mentioned that my life is quite scattered. I've been a medical doctor, a military man, an author, award-winning speaker, been in media, been a financial advisor, investment consultant, serial entrepreneur in many industries, from media to real estate to education. And it's like, what are you? Who are you? There are even some who have expressed the fact that they think my life may not make a significant impact, a significant dent in the universe, because my life is so scattered and so broad. But two things I would like to bring to your attention to think about. One is the whole notion of meta performance. Now, the idea of meta performance is that you're not just a high performance in some industry or in some area of life, but actually you become the best version of yourself, for always exploring and exploiting your full potential. So yes, I'm a part of the class of 2004 at the University of Ghana Medical School, but not every one of my colleagues can write books. So does that mean I should not write books because I'm a medical doctor? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so I've written books, but I'm a medical doctor. I've been in 45 countries speaking. I've lived in 3 over the last 10, 12 years, but I'm a trained medical doctor. So think about the idea of meta performance and see how many talents or how many other gifts you've been given by God you are not fully exploring or exploiting. Don't forget the parable of the talents. One was giving 5, another 3, another 1. Why should I compare myself to the person who had 1? I don't know, what they have, but all I know is that I have 5, and God expects me to use all those 5, add value to them, multiply them, and give them back to Him. As it said, the talents we have, the gifts we have are God's. The talents we have are God's gifts to us. What we do with them is our gift back to God. Now back to the issue of convergence. Now, convergence basically is looking back and connecting the dots, or standing up in your life and saying, where do all of these things fit in? And so I encourage you to go and read the blog because I give more details there. But basically, when you look through all this seemingly scattered life, from military to medicine to media to investments, etc., you would see a common thread of all these different colored strands. You will realize that there's a common thread of leadership. But this is the thing. I'll really highly recommend this leadership practice of reflection. Reflection really is the rhythm of leadership. And I'm saying this as somebody who has been described by, I have a nonagenarian mentor in Britain, and he describes me as peripatetic. You can check out the word in the dictionary, peripatetic. But I'm always up to something, running here and there. But I've had to learn over the last few years, especially, to stop and be in solitude, silence, and reflect. There is no understanding without reflection. Without reflection, we're not able to distill the lessons of life. We're not able to be deep in our leadership. And so I really encourage you to make time and reflect, and you may realize that, oh, all these seemingly scattered parts of your life actually have a convergence. In fact, Steve Jobs said something similar as well, that indeed you can connect the dots looking backwards, but you can't connect the dots looking forwards or going forwards. So life is lived backwards. Life is lived forwards. There's the only way to live life, forwards. Don't keep looking back in the rearview mirror. That's not where you're going. Life is lived forwards, but with deep reflection, which should be the rhythm of your leadership, you will realize, it's understood backwards. Have a great week.